Hello, welcome to this practical case study. This is regarding the masterclass we had a few weeks ago about what is Cloud BIM, benefits of Cloud BIM. So in this short session, we will explore this Cloud BIM concept beyond the traditional collaboration platforms. It's not really only about sharing files in the cloud. It's more about connecting BIM models to external databases where information is created and maintained in both sides. You know that in real case studies, in real projects, architects are not the only authors of information. Clients, operators, and consultants often manage data and outside the BIM tools. So we want to demonstrate in a short case study, and for you to try as well, the tools that were also demonstrated in the masterclass. The exercise is based on a simple but realistic case study. We have a building model that contains zone information that are created in the BIM tool, in this case ArchiCAD, and these zones contain geometric and basic BIM data. However, additional information such validated namespaces, comments, responsibility, and other data must be edited by people outside the BIM models. So our goal is to export this BIM data to the cloud, allow external editing, synchronize the data back to ArchiCAD, and then display that data in simple way in the BIM tool. So to start, I'm going to explain the tech stack. So we will have ArchiCAD as our BIM platform. ArchiCAD, we are going to install this open source plugin called Tapir, which will enable certain functions to allow for this external API interchange. Then we're going to use an automation platform in the cloud called N8N, and then Airtable will be our database system for allowing for external editing. The first steps will be to download ArchiCAD. You can go to download ArchiCAD online, and then you shall find this Graphisoft page where you can basically download ArchiCAD 29. I am working with ArchiCAD 28 just for your information. So you will be able to download this, and you can work with it as a demo mode, which will allow you to open files, work with them, install add-ons, and work with this synchronization between the tools, but you will not be able to save your files. So that is a bit unfortunate. This is the demo mode. If you want, you will be able to start a free trial. You will need to follow the link, request a trial, and you will get a 30-day trial. So that is more than enough for testing the workflow. On the other hand, we are going to use, as I said, Airtable. So Airtable is a system, a database system. I have already set up my tables. For you will need to again go into I'm logging out Airtable, so you will need to sign up for free. And in this case, you will create a free account, and you will be able to have databases with certain limitations. But again, for the purpose of the demonstration, will be also enough. And the third item, it's Tapir. You will need to go to this GitHub repository, and then if you scroll down, you will find the direct access to the latest version of Tapir for multiple ArchiCAD versions. So you will be able to go ArchiCAD 28 or 29 and then download for Windows or Mac. In order to install this is going to download a file that will be a zip folder, and then you need to go into your, I am on Mac, but in Windows should be somewhere similar. You will be going to your applications, wherever it's installed, ArchiCAD, and find the version of ArchiCAD that you want to put the add-ons. Go to the add-on folder, and then you can basically drop the file in here, but you will need to unzip it. So this will look like this. For Mac, the file type is called bundle. For Windows, I think it's called add-on or something similar, but you will need to drop the ArchiCAD add-on into the add-on and the ArchiCAD version that you have installed. And then finally, if you have ArchiCAD open, you will need to restart ArchiCAD for it to have effect, just for you to know. And then finally, the last platform that we need is NA10. Again, this is a paid platform. I think you have a free version, but definitely you can get a trial. So I have created this project based on a 15-day trial, which you can use. If you go to NA10, you can get started. The price is quite affordable, the started or pro version, but anyway, any of these have a free trial that you can use for, I believe, 15 days. So again, for the purpose of the demo, I think you can get all these free tiers for ArchiCAD, Airtable, and NA10, and the Tapir plugin is free and open source, so you don't need to pay anything there. Okay, so going into ArchiCAD now. The idea of this workflow is that we have some geometry in ArchiCAD, in this case some zone geometry. This is the equivalent to the spaces type in Revit. So you have a specific tool called zone, and then you will be able to either, if you have a space delimited by walls, you can use the automated zone generation, basically by clicking into the space, or you can also create one by dragging or creating a rectangle or any shape. So the zones are entities that contain data like the name, number, geometric data as well. And then if I go into the settings here and I go to the properties, they also carry a lot of different properties. So for us, we're going to send some of those properties to Airtable and then bring back the edited value. So these are the zone. In terms of, so all of these, you're gonna get access to these files. So don't worry about having to know how to draw in ArchiCAD or anything like that. So we're gonna start with these three zones. You're also going to have, so this is the folder you will get the files, and then you will get the NA10 workflows, which you will need to import into your NA10 account. And then you're gonna have these Python scripts. So ArchiCAD to Airtable, Airtable to ArchiCAD. These are the ones that we use for the demo, but we are gonna use these final ArchiCAD Airtable push-pull. So they are simplified workflows. I will share with you the previous ones for in case you know Python and you want to dig into the code, but these are the ones that we are going to find to use finally. So if I open these Python files, I will open both of them. You will see in the headers here, you will see a number of items that you need to edit with your own credentials and your own data. So it's quite important that the names of the properties are synchronized properly between Airtable and ArchiCAD. And this is the port of ArchiCAD. I will show you how to check which port are you working on. And this is the this address will need to be your own. You will be getting this from NA10. So all of this you will need to edit in both of the scripts. Just input the right port, input the right property group and property name, and input your own push and pull webhook. Okay. So going back to NA10, you will be getting access to these workflows. In order to, let's go to home. Let's create a workflow, and then you will be able to import from file. So if you go to the folder that we are going to share with you, which is this workflow materials, workflows, ArchiCAD, Airtable, open. This should create in your own account the exact workflow that we need. So basically, for this workflow to work, if you click on in the node, double click, it will open the workflow. So you're gonna have a number like an input tab, output tab, and then some settings and specifications. So in this case, this is the node, the webhook node. Then you have this test URL and production URL. This production URL is the address that you will need to copy and paste into your Python script. So this is for pushing and this is for pulling. So that will be required for you to update that properly with your own, because now this is referring to our company NA10 account, but you will need to have your own. So this should be automatically provided by the node. If we go to Airtable, this, when you open it, you will not have access to the database. So what you have to do is, first of all, create your database and then provide the credentials. So let's go to Airtable setup. So if we do, I'm gonna log in into my own. So once you are in your Airtable, you will not have any of this. So you will need to create one base. You can create one empty one. So this is how an empty base looks like. You have tables. You can add more tables, and each table has just a few rows that you can basically double click. You can change the name, change the type of data that is inside. So you will need to mock the one that we are creating, which is for this simplified workflow, we call it single property. You will need to create these 4 columns. One is called GUID, very important to keep the same name and the same with caps. The second column, it's called name. It will be the space name. The third column, number. And the fourth column, property. This is the property that we are gonna be editing in Airtable and sending back to ArchiCAD. So for this case, you need to provide access to your database. So I have put together in the document for this case study, I have put detailed explanation, also links for your reference, how to get the different tools, of course access to the files, and then I am adding a few short videos on how to import the workflows from file, and also how to set the credentials to the Airtable base. To get your credentials, you will need to go to your account and scroll down to this Builder Hub. And in here, you will have access to these personal access tokens and OAuth integrations and etc. So you can follow the instructions on the videos on the handover material in order to create your credentials to the Airtable base. Okay, so this is basically the setup. So you have to create the database, you create the fields, and then based on those field numbers, so in this case, what we are doing here is, let me go back. So this is the property that we're gonna be sending. So in ArchiCAD, what we need to do is we have to go to the property manager in options, property manager, and we are going to have we can create a group. Let's create a new group. EADIC Masterclass. It came here. It's an empty group at the moment. And now we are going to create a new property called EADIC property. So this is the property that I have created. So EADIC Masterclass, EADIC property. So now we should come into the Python code and change in the group EADIC property. Sorry, I forgot already how was it called. EADIC Masterclass, EADIC property. Masterclass, and here call EADIC property. The rest you don't need to. I mean, if you know Python and you want to dig into the code, please feel free, but the rest should be okay. The only thing that we need to touch now is this port. After installing Tapir, you will see this Tapir menu on the top. You can click on About Tapir, and this will tell you to which port this particular file is connected to. So in this case, it's 19723. We are, by default, we have here the 24, so we need to change the port and basically save the file. I will not save it, but this is the workflow. After that is happened, you can get these from the tapir. You will not see this by default, but you can get this tapir palette, which will open this little palette here. This palette basically allows you to load different Python scripts here, which you can load by clicking the plus. That will open your own computer, so we can find a single property push. So you can add that one, for example, and then to run it, you just need to run it here. So in this case, if we click play, it just sends the script. If we want to see what happened, we can go to info session report, and here we can see this is like a console. So it's executing the script, and it was successful. So if we go to the database, now it's connected to this one. So basically it just sync the names here. If I change, for example, this space 1, number 101, and then I execute the script again, in theory this should be updating. So basically this is how the information gets pushed into our table, and then in this case you will be sending the information to this particular property field, this other table, and then this is the property that will come empty in your case, that you will be able to bring back into ArchiCAD. This is you will need to go into the script, in this case the pool, and then the same. So actually I'm going to change the names to the properties to this one, single property group and property name, so it's synchronized with the property name, single property group. So in theory, if I pull the information, actually first I should push the information there. So I will come again, and then (23), that is my instance, push, and for pull, just making sure that (23) and pull 23. So let me save this. I will save this as well, and then we will try to push this information. Okay. I think I made a mistake setting the property. This property needs to be added to the zones. Actually, we can just set for all, so it will enable that property for all the elements. And now this should have worked. So let's try to find out. You see now everything here is updated, and we're gonna test data and then test. We can just so we can get this we can get this property here, and now if we go to ArchiCAD, we should get the pool, and now we're gonna test by finding these using these labels. So we're gonna get from here, you will find in the document tab here, label. We are gonna get this auto text label, and we will click here on the zone. By default has some values, so we double click here. We're gonna delete everything, and I'm gonna click here, auto text. I will go to properties, single property group, property name, and now I can, by holding Alt, just getting the same, and then you see how this data gets displayed in here. So now this is the data that we just set up in our table. We can go back to our table. We can change this for change data, and this gets updated in Airtable, and now we just pull this data into ArchiCAD, and then in a matter of seconds that data gets pulled back into the zones. So this is the workflow. I think the difficulty here is really to set up all the different connections. So remember, first of all, install ArchiCAD. Second, you will need to download Tapir, get your account in N8N, get your account on Airtable, create your basic Airtable base with the fields that I mentioned, and then import the workflow that we are already providing in the material. So we have the ArchiCAD files, the N8N workflows for you to import. Remember, for these you will need to set your own credentials and copy the webhook address to update your Python script. And then finally, I will clean up this folder. You will get this ArchiCAD Airtable push and pull. So two scripts. One is for pushing the data into Airtable and creating the database. The second one is to bring the information back. So these are the rest. We can really archive them. I will share it in case you want to check more complex, some more complex scripts, but this is the simple version for you to try. You will also receive this document, this PDF or Word document stating the different elements that you need to do, and it's not a step-by-step workflow, but it is quite well explained, and it has links to guide you for some of the particular aspects of setting up the Airtable credentials and so on that are a bit more difficult. You can see a couple of minutes video that will guide you more in detail. So I hope this you have fun creating this workflow. You can, as I said, if you're a Revit user, you can imagine and you can understand by creating this for this ArchiCAD workflow. You can transpose this into a Revit workflow easily with a similar approach. And let me know if you have any questions. I hope you have fun doing this exercise.